Hello everyone, Courtney Swain here, and today I wanted to talk about how life and jobs help to prepare me for network marketing that I'm in today. In the beginning, when I first even discovered the existence of being able to work at home, it was about over 20 years ago. I was like 23 or 24 years old, and I had a toddler, 2-year-old daughter, and I needed a job, and didn't even know how I was going to even get a job, because I'd have to figure out how to pay for child care, and her father, he really wasn't very useful with the care of the child, so it was all on me. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get the job, and even getting the job, how am I going to pay for child care, and getting back and forth to work. Well, actually not so much getting back and forth to work, because I know how to catch the bus because I didn't have a car at the time, but mainly child care, and having the funds for child care was my concern. But I was always a determined individual, so I never gave up, and I always kept looking through a circular we have called the Penny Saver. I was looking through that, and I came across this work at home phone job, and I'm like, oh, what? Work at home? I couldn't believe it. I called right away, and I went to go see them, I think the same day, and was able to start right away. I was like, wow. And it got easy with childcare, because then I had my sister, and she would watch my daughter when I would take the phone calls. So that was my first discovery of working at home, and that was like about 93, 94, somewhere in there. From there, as time went on, I ended up working that phone job for a few years, and due to my connection on the phone job, I mean, me and the other people who worked the job at home, we didn't see each other until payday, because we would all go down to the office to collect our checks. So as I was talking to them, they started telling me about other types of work at home phone jobs. So from there, I just kind of tried all different kind of work at home things. In between, I'd go get a regular job, like working retail one time, and I must tell you, I hated that retail job. I really did. It's just the phone job was commission based, so it was inconsistent. The retail job was just, oh my God, being on your feet all day, it was just bad. Anyway, worked the retail job in addition to still working the phone job, around the retail job. Eventually I left the retail job, and I ended up getting a regular full-time outside job in a call center. At that point, the phone job just fell off completely, because now I'm working full-time. And when you're working full-time, even if you're only working 8 hours, you're there 8.5 or 9 hours, depending on if you have a 30-minute or an hour lunch. And then your commute there and commute home, and the time getting ready in the morning for work and all that. You look up, easily it could be 12 hours of your day, minimum. So of course, by the time I make it home, the phone job just fell off. But I never lost my desire to have to work at home. From there, I kept getting, I had the one call center job for 2 years, and then from there I went to another call center job making more money, and the work at home dream kind of went to the back burner, because the full-time commute and job and all of that just was way time consuming, and by the time you get home, you're just too exhausted, and then I still had, my child to spend time with too. It was just very time consuming, but that little thought in the back of my head, it still always remained. So as I kept going through, I'd go from one call center to another. I'd been at one 5 years, and then I'd end up with another one, and it just kept going and going and going. And then finally, last year, I made that move. I decided I was working one more call center, and it was a temp job, and they let me go. And at that point, of course I went through that temporary, what am I going to do? I decided, it's time to make that move. And then in my personal life, I also made changes along the way as well, because I had people in my life, it's usually the ones that are closest to you, working against me, trying to control me, and it was just a lot of mess going on. So I did a few moves. Not only did I make changes with the jobs, but I also removed some people out of my life too. A couple years ago, I had moved 50 miles away from my family. Well, I had family where I moved to as well, but my immediate, siblings, parents, I moved away from them 50 miles away. That was the best move I ever made. When I moved down here initially, I did not have a job. I just got laid off from one of those call centers, and I was out of work for a while. I was on unemployment, plus I had a little funds from when the job laid us off. So I would say for the first 2 years since I made that move, I enjoyed myself because I had close friends and family I was really close to, when I moved 50 miles away, and we just had a good time. I say for at least the first year to 2. By year 3, because it's now 4 years since I've been down here, that's when I'm like, okay, it's time to get a job. So I did find a call center job, then temp job. That one let you go. Then you go get another one, and then they let you go. And then finally got another temp job that lasted for like 11 months. And then they let me go. It's now June of 2013. They let me go November last year, 2012. And I went through that initial, what am I going to do? Filed for unemployment, got that. And by December, I said, you know what? Now is my time. Because for the past 10 years strong, my desire to have my own business has been really, really strong in me. I mean, and the economy definitely played a part in that. Getting laid off all the time, all the cutbacks, things like that. The way jobs seem to treat a lot of the people nowadays, whether you have a degree or not, it's like they, treat you like, oh, well, I could dump on you as much as I want, and if you don't like it, you can go get a job somewhere else. And they know the jobs aren't out there like they used to be. See, back in the days, maybe the early 90s, you could be at a job and say, oh, this job sucks, I'm going to go get another one, and go get another one. Nowadays, they don't exist, and I feel like a lot of the employers are taking full advantage of that, putting heavier workloads on people. And then people are either out of work looking for a job, or they're at a job being stressed out and got heavy workloads put on them, and they feel grateful to have a job because they know the jobs are scarce and the employers are just taking advantage. And to me, it's just a really big stressful mess. So when I got laid off in November, filed for unemployment, come December, I decided now is my time. So I hopped online and started looking around, and I noticed it's been a while since I had looked for working at home. It had been a long time. One thing I never really had touched too much was starting a business at home because, back in the day I was leery. I tried a couple here and there. You had to run to a bunch of meetings. I've tried Amway. I got tired of running to all those meetings all the time, and it's like you pay this money and you join, and that's it. There's no support or help, really. They'll take you up to Walmart and have you stand around and maybe see if you can have the eye to spot somebody who may want to be in business. But it just, between that, standing in Walmart, trying to catch people and going to all those meetings, I just wasn't feeling that this was for me. So I felt more comfortable at the time with work at home jobs. But this time around, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try business. So I hopped on Facebook, looked at different things, saw that somebody had a email business processing work at home thing. So I tried that. And then as you're networking on Facebook, you start coming across a lot of people that are in the marketing, some sort of business. And I came across this one guy, and I talked to him for about a week before I decided to join with him, and he has still been there till this day. One-on-one support, always constant guidance, things like that. And I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. So how I feel that my life and jobs have helped me prepare me for marketing. But with the jobs, it's like, you know what, if I could get up, wrap my whole life around this job, because you get up a certain time in the morning, you make sure the alarm's set, you get some sleep, you get up the next day when the alarm goes off, you get up, get ready, you fight through traffic, you're at the job. I felt like, if I could go to a job every day and dedicate that time, because I feel like with the job, as soon as you walk through the door, you stick your neck out, and they're stepping on it all day long. They tell you what to do all day, when you can go pee, when you can go eat, and when you can go home. So I figured if I've done that for over 20 years for these different jobs, why can't I do that for myself? And then in my personal life, as I started realizing, I'm worth more than what I'm allowing myself to be put through with these different people in my life. I'm talking family mainly. Some men, but mainly family. And I made the changes to decide I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not going to put up with any of this disrespect. I'm not going to put up with any of these things in my personal life anymore. So with the job, I decided I deserve more. In my personal life, I decided I deserve more. And the skills and things I learned at the job, how to multitask and how to stay on a schedule and things like that, all these things have helped me in my marketing business because I'm self-managed, self-motivated, self-disciplined, which is what you have to be when you're in business for yourself, because you don't have a boss anymore. You are the boss. So if your boss, being you, is lazy and, I'm just going to sleep in all day, or I'm going to run and do this and that and the other, then bottom line is your business is not going to be successful. So you have to have that, be self-motivated and self-managed and self-disciplined if you expect to be successful, because when you work for yourself, especially in the beginning, you work harder than you do if you go to a job, because on a job, yeah, it's stressful, yeah, you got to be there by a certain time, but you have a set of duties that you do all day long. You don't have to think or figure stuff out for yourself for the most part. They have duties and instruction, the things that they're telling you what to do. It's just they dump a lot on you and they're telling you what to do all day long, and some of that stuff they're telling you what to do doesn't make any sense, but they still expect you to do it anyway. I mean, sometimes they don't even understand it, but they still expect you to somehow magically, figure it out. So those things are what helped me. All those things, my personal, making changes for the better in jobs, deciding to step out in the business, the things I acquired being, schedules, timelines, all of those things help me in my network marketing business today. And you can do it too. You could be successful in marketing as well if that's your choice. Just know that these are the things that you're going to need to know. Also, my computer skills, because when I first started in call centers back in like 98, I didn't have a computer at home. I didn't know a lot about computers, so a lot of that in-house training they give you and how you learn how to have all these different screens up and how to multitask and how to jump between all these screens, and going through the years with the different call centers with all the different computer training too also helped me as well, and that motivated me to finally get my own computer. So once I got my own computer, things I was learning at the job I was also applying at home. Also, different people at the job that were better with the computers than I was, I learned a lot from them too. So also the computer skills that I learned on the job also helped me as well, because with network marketing or any type of home business that you have, you need to know at least the basics of computers. I mean, they say no experience necessary, no computer knowledge required, but that's not true. You do need to know some basic computer skills. You need to know how to copy paste. You need to know how to bring up multiple screens. You need to know how to download. You need to know how to use the different forms of communication that are available to you on the internet, because Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest, all of those things are very popular social media avenues to get the word out there about your business and what you're doing. Very important. That's very big, and that's how a lot of things are done nowadays. People do some work offline, like away from the computer as well, but the vast majority, when you're dealing with any type of work at home business, requires you to be online. So if you are scared of the mouse or what is copy paste or anything like that, I would recommend, check out your local, community college and take some basic computer classes and get familiar with the computer and how to maneuver and do things, because once again, you are your own boss. At the job, if something goes wrong with your computer, you got tech support people, you got managers around, you got people around to help you. But when you're at home, you're on your own. And it's nothing more frustrating if you don't know the computer and you're trying to get into a business like this. You're going to frustrate yourself, and the chances are really high that you'll end up giving up. But that is my, story about me, and also my tip for today. Until next time, this is Courtney Swain, and you have a good day.